Hey guys, how's it going? It's Tom here from Motown Models. So today I want to show you what I just might think is the ultimate model train workshop. Right behind this door are some pretty cool things, so let's go ahead and check them out. So just some background, I've lived in a one-bedroom apartment for a while now, and this used to have my bed in here and my workshop area. It was just going to be way too cramped up, and I always wanted a space dedicated to working on trains. So I came up with this monstrosity, and I moved my bed into my living room. Why? Because I'm a fucking crazy person. Now with that being said, here is a grand tour of the Motown Models shop. So I guess I'll start with the least interesting stuff here. This is a few containers housing a bunch of parts. I have detail parts, styrene, decals, paints in there, and then I have a bunch of projects I'm probably never going to get to in there, and some pens and pencils and books. In these containers we have some locomotive shelves, motors, chassis, frames, weights, screws, fasteners, different electrical components, some pieces of hardware and things like that. Nothing too interesting. Then we move up to here, and hey, there's something actually interesting. This is a test track that I made dedicated to N through HO scales, as you can see up here. I was tired of putting all my track out on the floor in a circle and trying to get everything situated, so I just made this permanent installation here. What we have is 4 scales. We have a DCC or DC switch per scale, and then we have a NCE system, a old MRC Tech 2 controller for DC power, and also a ESU lock programmer. So you can select between DC or DCC, and then between the lock programmer or NCE. And as you can see, if you want to turn it to DC, just move it there, turn this guy on, and then your engine doesn't move for some reason, but yeah, I think I killed it. Oh, guess not, it's working, cool. Alright, so moving on, here's a photo booth that I made. It's just an IKEA table with a 50-cent sheet of paper in the background and some IKEA lights that you can move around. And as you can see, the results are pretty nice looking. So I used to have this on my kitchen table, and I said screw it, I have all this room now in here, might as well make something permanent, and I made that. So that's pretty cool. There's a tripod there so you can take pictures. In these containers are some paint supplies, rattle cans, and glue, and then a bunch of different scales of track as well, all the way up to G-scale stuff. And then in this container, I guess I skipped over, it's just a bunch of legal documentation and receipts for the business side of things. Alright, so here's a bunch of Locksound ESU inventory that I got here. I have all the decoders that they carry, all the way from Z-scale up to the XL large scale stuff. When you go to motownmodels.com and place an order, this is where it comes from, the big inventory container. And then over here I skipped over, I also have a couple lock programmers and these really nice foam locomotive cradles as well. And then also back over here, I have a bunch of wire, all different colors, and then also the Motown Models Nano LEDs I have in here as well. And as you can see, all the different varieties are kept in here as well. So one more thing I forgot to mention, if you go to motownmodels.com and use the coupon code BASEMENT10, you'll get 10% off your entire checkout order. And this is just because we're all stuck in our basements right now. We can't do anything else other than work on trains, obviously, like I've been doing here. So use that coupon code, you'll get some money off and save some bucks, which is cool. And I really appreciate you guys visiting the website as well. So this is something most of you guys have not seen yet. This is a Peopoly Phenom 3D printer. To be specific, it's an MSLA resin 3D printer. This thing is a freaking beast. It's huge. It weighs about 95 pounds. I had to put 6 legs on this IKEA table to actually support this thing, which is pretty funny. But the main reason I got this is to produce these shells for our locomotive coming out in early 2021. And the build area, as you can see, is huge compared to most other resin 3D printers. which means that you can print a full locomotive shell in one piece on here instead of needing separate components. So that's pretty cool. Underneath here, I created this ultraviolet light curing station. For resin 3D printing, you need to cure the actual print with UV light to get it hardened up and not be really soft. So I made this box. It's lined in aluminum foil tape to reflect the ultraviolet light. And if I flip the switch up here, as you can see, it gets super bright and it looks crazy in the camera, but it is very bright and it cures most prints in a matter of maybe 15 minutes. And it's got a couple magnets to keep it closed. Pretty cool stuff. Up here, something is kind of cool. This is a Ultrasonic Cleaner, and this is used for cleaning the excess resin off of 3D prints. And I also found it's very, very useful for cleaning models before painting. It takes off any of the oils off your hands or any oil from the model, and it makes things very nice and clean. It looks like one of those hot dog cookers that you see in like a high school lunchroom, but I promise it is not. It is a ultrasonic cleaner. Nothing too exciting back there, just a bunch of crap from the 3D printer. Underneath this table though is a bunch of customer projects. As you can see, I have a whole lot of stuff to go through right now. And trust me guys, if you have something with me right now, I am working on it. Now, since we're all stuck in our basements, it is go time. So I've been working on models like crazy, staying up until 2 in the morning every night, trying to get things done. So all my customer projects live beneath this table. Above the table is a paint booth. Nothing too exciting. It's made by Pache. It's pretty quiet. If you turn it on here, you can hear how loud it is. It's really not too bad, so I've enjoyed this over the years. And that's about it for this section. Here's a drill press that I inherited from my grandfather a couple years ago. This thing is a monster up here. It's actually very tall because I built a table on the bottom of it as well, just to keep everything secured and for storage as well. A lot of modelers don't realize how useful a drill press can be. Once you actually get one and start playing around with it, you'll realize how many things you've been missing out on. And instead of using the dumb little hand drill and going all over with it, something that's really secure and in this case overkill makes working on things so much easier, especially when you're working with metal. So I definitely recommend getting a drill press if you can find one for cheap or if you can inherit one. They're a very, very nice tool to have. You don't have to go overkill like I did obviously, but anything is better than just the normal stupid hand drill. And then behind that I have some storage for materials, nothing too exciting. And on to the final section, of course, the piece de resistance, or however the hell they say it. It is the Workbench. So I have behind here all of the possible parts you could imagine. A lot of these things are radio controlled, drone and car related because that's also another hobby of mine. So you'll see like FPV and RC car parts and crap like that. There's a lot more train stuff on this side though, lots of little detail parts and things in there, along with the DCC and LED related components there. Speaking of drones, there it goes, small drone. And you got the main workbench area up here. As you can see, I have a few projects going on right now. In the comments, guess what you think these things are. If you follow me on Instagram at motown.models, you'll already know what these are, but give it a guess and see if you're right. So up here, I mean, obviously I have a bunch of paints and whatnot, as everyone does, paint brushes and things, different tools in there, some more tools over here, lots of more tools over here, and I have some other things over here as well. Here's a soldering iron. One thing that you should definitely invest in as a modeler, or really any DIY-ish person, is a good soldering iron. This is a Heiko FX 888D, and has a million tips that you can buy for it as well, which is very convenient. Comes with this little holder thing. It's a great investment for sure. Underneath here I have my airbrush, just a Pache Talon, nothing too exciting, with a little Harbor Freight compressor, and I have dual moisture traps as well, just because I don't like using only one. I like relying on two, there's a lot less moisture in the paint. And then in these drawers, just some materials that I use mostly for drone related stuff, but also for some modeling things as well. And there's some more tools in here. And finally, underneath the workbench is just storage for a couple different things, a few toolboxes worth of tools, and some locomotive storage boxes like that guy. Nothing too exciting underneath there. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video, I really appreciate it. You can check us out on Facebook at Motown Models, Instagram again at motown.models, and motownmodels.com where you can find all of your DCC and LED lighting needs. Thanks again for watching, I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.